Good morning.
Hello, everyone. We're on Wednesday now. Yeah, we're moving through the month, almost done with the month. So we wanted to greet you with a couple of things that we think would help. Specifically, one thing that I learned as an acupuncture student: when you go through a traditional Chinese medical training, acupuncture school, etc., part of your training is not only learning acupuncture, Chinese herbology, qigong, tai chi, but one of the fourth branches, a very important branch, is Tui Na. Tui Na, like TWEE, is TUI space NA. Tui Na is probably precedes acupuncture, because as we've said before when we talked about acupressure, one of the things I think the Chinese were no different: when something hurt, they rubbed it or tried to move it or something to get it to stop hurting or to feel better. So this is a part of that. As I said, it's probably one of the oldest parts. Now, Tui Na means pinch and pull. Those are what those two words mean. And as I said, it has about a 5,000-year-old history, and it's not like Western massage. It's considered a form of massage, and it's not traditional. It's a form of body work. It's not used specifically for pleasure or relaxation. I'm not saying it wouldn't be relaxing, but it's not like going to get a circulatory massage at a massage from a massage technician or therapist. Mm-hmm. And although they could do this, but as I said, it's an integral part of our training, as we said, learning Tai Chi, etc. So I want to demonstrate a couple of things, specifically one that I learned as a student, and the name sounds like the sound that it makes when you do it. So it's called Pokking, because when you actually cup your hands. Now, when I learned this 30 some years ago, one of the main things that they said it was good for were for the lungs and breathing and respiratory and upper respiratory infections and asthma and chronic cough. And you know, it's funny with all this stuff, and Laura and I have been doing this for a while now, these things come to you, go, oh yeah, I remember that technique. I mean, I've used it in the past. I've taught it to a lot of parents because I do pediatric acupuncture, because it's gentle. As I said, it's a percussive, meaning percussive means you're like tap, 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 tap. That's part of the style of Tui Na. And so I'm going to demonstrate that on Laura in a moment. Laura had an interesting thing that she saw.
Right, when I was just scrolling through Facebook about COVID-19, there were different techniques that were being shared by nurses in hospitals, and one of them was Pokking. So this technique, although it was not called the Pokking, they were just saying how there is a lot of success with this technique being used in the hospitals. We're getting people's lungs or phlegm moving and helping people breathe. And it's such a simple technique. She was teaching it to the other nurses so that they could actually help out by doing this with the patients. So a great technique for what's going on now, but also if you have a child at home that has respiratory issues like asthma or gets frequent colds or coughs, this can be really helpful. And it actually, you know, it feels good. And
right.
Yeah, Pokking is really chi invigorating. It gets the chi moving. It's used for chi stagnation. And it also really is helpful for getting phlegm moving. And sometimes when you're doing it on people, you can actually feel like their chest, you can hear them, their breathing, you can feel like almost like a rattling. So it can help get the chi moving as well as the phlegm moving.
And to that point, Tui Na is exactly parallel with all the other forms of traditional Chinese medicine we saw. They use the exact same principles: unblocking blockages, getting things moving, and that's the whole point of what Laura was just referencing.
Yeah, and it's really focused. It's a Chinese massage that's also focused on the meridians and the points.
Exactly the same ones.
Yeah, so when you were doing these technique, you know, we're going to be focusing over the lung area, but there's definitely Pokking techniques that can be part of like a qigong or exercise type of routine that will help out, that you're doing like the Pokking down your different meridians, which is interesting.
Exactly right.
And I had an interesting experience when I was learning Tui Na when I was getting my master's. And it's all, you know, we're practitioners of traditional Chinese medicine, and that's why these different techniques fall under that broader umbrella that's so much bigger than just acupuncture. But I remember my instructor saying to us, by the end, you know, we're learning this rolling technique with the back of our hand, and he said, you know, by the end, when he was studying China, you were considered proficient and able to do Tui Na once you took a bag of uncooked rice and you could roll it and massage it so that it was powder or dust. And I thought, oh man,
That's a lot of rolling, a lot of Tui Na. Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And it's been over a couple decades, so.
Yes, and stylistically, regarding, excuse me, Miss Luna, stylistically, there's more of a yin style, which is a quieter style, a more gentle style, a passive style, and the yang, just like we've talked about, is more, not aggressive, but it's more, like what we'll be doing today is more invigorating.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Yang style.
Yeah.
So more physical. Now, this can be done most of the time. 99% of the time, it is done fully clothed. You can do it with someone sitting, as we're going to do with Laura. You can have them lying down. And in a certain situation, you can have them standing. I don't think that's the most relaxing, and you're not going for relaxation, but you just want to be able to relax the muscles or the area as you're working on it. So this has so many different health benefits. I mean, it's good for all the musculoskeletal things, so neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches. It's also good for digestion. There are different points because it incorporates acupressure, it incorporates myofascial release types treatment. So all those things that we address in traditional Chinese medicine with acupressure and the meridians and the functions of the points, like Laura just said, will be incorporated with Tui Na. So I'm going to demonstrate, as I said, something called Pokking. Now, the lungs, if you really think about, I'm just going to point, because Laura has a shirt on that says our daughter's college, Berkeley College of Music. So right below the word Berkeley is where the lungs are, all the way up to the throat area. So this technique that I'm going to demonstrate, predominantly I'm going to do it on the back, but it's also that the lungs come down to right below your scapula, which is your shoulder blade. So
I'm going to turn around.
Yes, there you go.
Our dog came out.
We're
As soon as Luna heard the word massage, she's like, here I am.
Yes.
I'm here for you.
I hope you can see this because, yeah, I think you can. So, of course, this is Laura's shoulders.
Why don't I sit up a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, that's even better. Thank you. So, Laura's shoulder blades, they come down to basically the middle of your back. With women, it's right around where your bra strap is. That's right where the lungs come down to. So when I do this technique, I'm going to do it all the way down to that area. So it's hard to explain this. Like when I teach this to a parent to do this for their child who has asthma or coughing, it's difficult to tell. I can tell them in the clinic. I hope in this presentation this morning on Facebook Live, you can see that it's not it's firm, but it's not hard. It's quick, percussive movements. It's not a hard. Now you can do firm is the key word. Hard is not the key word.
You don't have to keep demonstrating that. It's not hard.
And push her forward.
Hard.
I didn't like dinner last night.
Hey, that's not funny.
I ate. I cooked
You ate dinner.
Yeah. All right, we digress. So, this is predominantly the area I'm going to work on. Now, if you're treating a child, as I said, you would do it a little less firmly, or an elder person a little less firmly. But use they're going to communicate with you, oh, that's too hard, or ask them, say, hey, can you let me know if this is too hard? But the key is you want to do basically 100. The key word in anything with Chinese medicine, when they're doing Tui Na, they do usually 100. Like Laura said, rolling that bag of rice till it's powder. I mean, they don't just sit there and do 5. So you can count as you go across the shoulders, go across the mid-back, or the middle of the upper back, and then down to the lower part of the upper back where the lungs stop. As you can just keep going back and forth till you get 100. Also, of course, when you're going to percuss the chest for this with the pocking motion, this pocking sound that it's going to, so it's like this. So you can hear that pock, 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 pock. Chinese are very literal. So I'm going to move your hair again, Laura.
So
if you
it's
don't mind.
you're kind of cupping your hand.
Yeah, you're cupping your hand like this. You're literally like this.
Yeah.
So you're going like.
So that's what's making that, because it echoes in your palm.
Right. So we're going to percuss this area of Laura's back. Now there are techniques of different kneading, as Laura said, or grasping, which would be like this in that area. Rolling would be this. Those are all fine too, but for today, because we want to concentrate on the upper respiratory system, and we may develop other things later on. So, and acupressure points. We've already showed some acupressure points for lungs and for cough. So I'm going to demonstrate this on Laura. So you can use both hands. There is a style where you do like a karate chop type thing. That's fine too, but for this we want pocking. So doesn't matter which hand. I'm using my right because I'm right-handed. So I just gently keep my hand here so I don't push Laura forward. So it just goes like this.
Actually feels really good. I know it does not look like a sweepy massage, but it actually feels like everything's getting moving. And then
I've come down, and then I go right back up again. Or you can go like this. Laura's not a large person, but like a bodybuilder or a football player, somebody who's bigger, you can use both hands if you want to. I think it's a little confusing personally as a practitioner that use Tui Na. I tend to use one hand. It's optional. But just notice that it's rhythmic. And percussive means a ta 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 ta. Here, pok, 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 pok. I can't say enough how great this is for people. And as Laura referenced the nurse teaching other nurses to do this. And then I'm going to finish with something like this. This is just real gentle. You know, everyone's seen this in movies and things like that. This kind of, I call it the karate chop, this little chopping motion here. Just finish with that. And then the last thing I'm going to do is, so that I'm done with that, is I'm just going to come right here and just go down these right on the medial borders of the lower scapula just to finish it, just real gently with my hands. I'm using my thumbs. In Tui Na, they use thumbs, fingers, and even elbows. Like if Laura had really contracted trapezius pain, I would actually get behind her and press with elbows. That's another day. So finishing with this, and then just brushing like this along her lungs.
Yep.
And that's it. That's how easy it is. Now, if you did the front, of course, you could just, Laura, you can do it on yourself.
Yeah, I can do it. That's the nice thing about the front. You can actually do it yourself if you're feeling like you're feeling
hear
like
the
you're
sound.
congested.
Hear that sound.
You can just work on yourself.
Yeah.
It shouldn't hurt. It should feel kind of good, actually, but
I think it feels good.
You should be able to feel it.
Love it, yeah. Now, I have to tell you from doing those 100 strikes on Laura, my hand is actually vibrating. It's such a great feeling. It feels really good.
Yeah.
Now, I would also recommend just right before you do, just rub your hands together a little bit if you tend to have cold hands. Some people do. Just rub your hands together before you do it. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? So there's so many benefits. We can. In the future, you'll probably see us talking about it.
Right. Yeah. Rick was thinking maybe we'd go over the history of all Tui Na in 10 minutes or less, and I'm like, no, honey, we have to focus on one.
It's hard for me. I'm an extrovert, and I just want to blab about everything.
Well, there's so much to teach.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting more into that when we talk about our membership, which we're going to be doing some detailed dialogue about it on 5/1.
Day after tomorrow. My golly, it's going to be May 1st. My golly.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, everyone.
Enjoy the spring
As usual, we love saying hello in the morning and doing this. So have a great day.
Thank
Hang in
you.
there. There's a lot
Thanks for
going on in
joining.
the world. See ya.
Bye.